You guys know when a band has a great following. When you post on your Facebook site, for example, something that looks like a teaser of the song and people immediately start replying like, oh my god, they are back. It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's for us. It's great to know that the audience are there, you know, and that they're excited about what we're doing, because when we're making music, we're so excited as well. So it's good to have them, have the fans there, and that they do that.
I have to admit, you have got a huge following. Many bands envy you because your fans are particularly devoted. Like every time you release something new, they are here. Every time you play a gig, they are like, let's grab the tickets. It's really nice to know that every time you release something new, every time you get a song out there, people are there for you.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good relationship with many countries, you know, because for instance, Poland, we've been here so many times over the years, 7 years now. We've been coming back. We played 25, 30 shows here or something like that. So there's a good loyalty that exists between us and the fans in most countries, particularly in Poland. So that creates that sort of excitement, I think, and loyalty, like I say.
Mm-hmm. The excitement is back because you've got a new single out, a single that people seem to love, a single that you describe as, let's say, a celebration of being oneself.
Yeah, that was it, really. It's a song about not being afraid to be who you are, and this being the fact that being unique and being individual is a great thing, you know. So there's a lot of people that you meet and think, and that in the world that maybe don't feel like they can be like that, you know. And we meet a lot of our fans who are unique and sort of cool people, you know. And I think they're the people that are important in the world. Yeah. So that was what it was about.
But some people fear to be unique because they fear they will be judged. People won't accept them, for example.
Yeah.
Is it like, is the single, the whole video idea and so on, like a reassurance for them? Okay, don't be afraid.
Yeah, that was it, really. The video was a way of showing that it is very difficult for some people to just leave the house and be themselves, and I think that shows a lot of people how important it is that the freedom that they have, you know, and that they need to express it, and also that they're strong, you know. The video, the way it plays out is the person gets attacked, but then is strong enough to get back up, you know, and stand back up and fight for themselves, you know, and that's an important message.
In some ways, the idea of celebrating the way of being unique and so on reminds me of the beginnings of your band, because people were like, who are those two weird guys? They couldn't find a label, they couldn't tell whether you were a pop band, an alternative band, a rock band, or whatever. And people are afraid of things they don't know or they can't label. And for me, this is a history of your band. Like, okay, it can give people courage that being, and tell them, show them that being oneself, not being afraid of who you are, really pays off.
Yeah, I mean, we're the ultimate outsiders as a band, you know. We come from Manchester, but you wouldn't know it. Like, we're an international band, but we don't fit in necessarily anywhere. We're on the fringes of genres. Is it pop music? Is it alternative music? And that's something that we thrive on and enjoy. But we know what it feels like to be outsiders to an extent, because that's what our life is most days, you know.
Yeah, I think we continue to do that, you know, to show different sides of ourselves and show different styles of music and everything like that. And yeah, the fact that we've done it and we still continue to do it is what keeps us going, and hopefully, yeah, people can see that, you know, because it's people like David Bowie and Prince and people like that inspired us, and those were musicians that just did what they wanted, you know, and weren't afraid to make a change or confuse people a little bit, you know. So that's what we love, yeah.
Do you think that nowadays it's still possible for bands, for artists to become legends like David Bowie or Prince are today?
No, it's hard. It's hard to know. It's a very different time, you know. I think they've obviously got huge artists in the world now. You've got people that are as big as any of those people have ever been, you know. But it's, I think only time will tell, you know. You have to, a lot of those people had periods in their career where they weren't successful, you know. David Bowie had maybe 6 to 10 years where people didn't really listen to, he wasn't really in favour and people didn't really like the music, and then he bounced back. So you can only really tell, I think, as time goes on, because there might be some acts now that have disappeared a little bit that might have those moments in the future, yeah.
Plus, nowadays, whatever you do, people follow every step of yours. Like cell phones during gigs, people taking pictures when you're doing shopping or anything like that. Does it bother you, or is it like you get used to it after a few years? Because for me, I have to admit, it's disturbing a bit.
Yeah, I guess it's strange, like, but then it's just it's the way the world is, you know. I think it's strange when you saw the transition. Like, we came from a time when we were young kids, when we didn't have phones and things like that. So, but it's just what it is, you know. It's the way people interact with the world now, and it's got a lot of good things about it as well.
We overcame a lot of adversity on a number of levels. You know, we had no money, no jobs, no band at one point. All our musical equipment was stolen, so we had no gear, but yet we still found a way. So I think our determination, which we still have now, would be, I would commend it, and I would pat myself and Theo on the back, and I'd say, keep going, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, same thing, you know. There was a lot of times when we nearly gave up in the beginning and nearly stopped doing it. So I think we always knew that we believed in ourselves, and I think to encourage ourselves to do that was the big thing, yeah. The key is, don't have a plan B. Don't have a second plan, because if you've got a second plan, then it means you're already thinking about it not working out. So just have one plan. And also, if it's what you love doing, and if it's what you are passionate about, and it makes you feel human, or it makes you feel alive, just keep doing it, you know. It doesn't matter. Success is in yourself, you know. And I think we found that, like, we did it for so long, and now looking at it all these years later, we probably still would have been doing it, because the enjoyment we get out of it is the most important thing in our lives, you know. And I think there's a lot of people out there that who are artistic or creative who maybe push that down or hide it away because of their job. And I think if you are creative, you have to do things to make yourself feel good. So I think you just got to keep doing it, yeah.
How to enjoy making music and all those things around this process after a few years of a successful career, but also hard work, because let's face it, it's hard work. You've got interviews, you've got promo, lots of traveling, and it's normal for a musician to get tired, or really tired. Some people burn out after a few years, but what to do not to get burned out and to keep enjoying what you're doing?
Yeah, choose which parties you go to and which you don't. It's probably the best idea. The first few years of being on tour, we used to go out every night, and then it becomes, you can see why people get burnt out. But for us, like, the process of making music is much more important than going out for a drink or whatever. It's what we love doing. It's in our nature. I don't think we'll ever really be one of those bands where we sort of go off the rails or something like that, you know. You never know.
You're preparing a new album, as far as music goes. You're preparing a new album, and you know what they say. You've got your whole life to write your first record, but the ones that follow it are more difficult.
You know what the funny thing about that is that our first album was a total opposite to that. Because we wrote the first album in a very short space of time. We wrote every song that's on the album in a row. No other songs exist, just those ones. So actually for us it was the complete opposite. And then the second and third records, we had a lot longer to do it. So it's... but there's a formula as well to making pop songs, you know, and that's part of the addiction, part of the process is the formula. And yeah, it's never really changed that much, the formula, so it's sort of... I don't think we have that sort of feeling about it, you know. We don't ever feel panicked, you know, that we've got to make a record. It's just what we do, so.
It's natural. It's not like, oh my God, we've got a deadline. We need to start working.
No, because essentially we're in charge. You know, it's like we just make the music when we feel like it, and we still feel like we're learning all the time. And every time we might write a song, we've learned something else. So we're always excited about making music because it still feels like there's so much more for us to do. So that's a good thing.
What have you learned during those years of your musical career?
What have I learned? To sing better.
I'm only joking.
We've learned a lot. You know, we've had such crazy experiences. You know, things that we would never have dreamed of, and I think we've learned to be grateful and be very thankful to the people that give us a chance to do it. I think that's the one thing that you never really lose. I don't think. Some people might, but I don't. I think it's so important that every day we wake up that we get to do this as a job. Feels like, and just feels so great, you know, and it's not really, we just make the music, you know, we just sit and do it, it's fine, and then it's the people that like it and the people that come to the concerts or send us messages or whatever, they're the people that make all this possible, you know. It's like, so it's a mutual thing, so that's what you learn, yeah, is how important that is.
And for you, Adam?
Yeah, I agree completely, yeah. It's a good answer.
How many gigs have you played so far?
I don't know, hundreds and hundreds. I can't. It literally must be hundreds, I guess. Like even in even Hurts we've played hundreds, but we played hundreds before that. You know, when we first met, we were playing shows all the time. So I wouldn't even know. Maybe you could find out online somewhere.
I'd like to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suspect maybe 300, something like that. Maybe more. I might be wrong.
I've seen some of the older gigs. And it was crazy. It was crazy even before Hurts. And I guess it helped you create what you wanted to show people live. Like when you started Hurts and Wonderful Live became a hit, you were already prepared.
Yeah, we had experience, you know, and I think we were lucky that the success came at the right time because we were ready, we were experienced, and we'd been doing it for a while. So it was. When the opportunity came, we were really excited about it. We weren't particularly nervous in the beginning because we believed in ourselves so much. So,
Hundreds of gigs later, do you still feel the excitement when going on stage? Because I've seen you live a few times, and every time it's like that. That when you appear on stage, the gig begins. People are like, "Oh my God, it's happening again."
It's a very hard feeling to explain, but there's something really magical about it. You suddenly your life stands still. You're for that sort of hour and a half, you're just like walking on air. It's like an amazing feeling. Really hard to put it into words, but excitement is definitely. I think we still get really excited. We still get nervous for gigs. I feel the same way now as I did at the beginning. I love playing the songs, all the old songs, love playing them. So yeah.
Nervous?
Yeah, of course. Nervous because you care about it, you know. You care about giving people the best show that they possibly can, and you're all in it together, you know. It's not really just, like I say, it's not really just us up there playing songs that we want. We're there to play songs with everybody else and sing them with the audience. So yeah, we get nervous, but that's good, because if we didn't get nervous, it would mean that we didn't really care. So we always, when you get nervous, you go, oh, it's okay, I still care.
It's still there.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
As soon as you step out and the fans are there, everything's fine, you know. Everything's fine as soon as you step out.
But this life must be crazy. It is crazy, isn't it? When you're going on tour, being away from home for many, many months and like traveling from city to city, from city to city. Have you ever had an experience like that? Okay, where am I today?
Yeah, well, a lot of the time. But it's fun, you know. We get to travel the world. It's never boring, you know. It is crazy, but it's always exciting for us, and yeah, it's what we love about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People say that the most unexpected things that happen on tour and you experience, like going, nice things, simple things, like going to a nice restaurant and so on, are the most, let's say, valuable ones, because this is what you remember and simple things matter in life. Do you feel like that too?
One of the things, speaking of that, we have the same backing musicians and the same people working for us. We're talking 20 people maybe a bit less. And we've had the same people for 7 years, right from the first gig. I think one person has changed in that whole time, so it's like a family, really. It's always good fun. The tour bus is like being at home, really.
Are there still things that people do, your fans do, or in general, that surprise you?
Yeah, always.
After those years?
Yeah, always, because there's always new fans, you know. There's always people that connect to different songs, and we're on a journey with them all, you know. So we get to meet all different kinds of people all the time. So they and their passion seems to just grow and grow and grow. Every time we do shows, they seem to get more exciting and better, really. So that's what keeps us going.
What would you like for people to expect from your record? Because people are now betting, okay, is it gonna be like joyful or dark?
Well, expect the unexpected, and then you'll be fine. I guess like Adam said earlier, we just make lots of different kinds of music, you know. We make albums that feel like the right thing to do at the right time, you know. So we never know what's coming next. Like whenever we make songs and things, we never know what's around the corner, which is exciting for us.
You've proved it many times before. Now we've got it on video. You are not the guys that cannot smile.
No, we can't. We can smile. Of course we do. We are just like everybody else, you know. I think that's what's most unexpected about us.
Expect the unexpected.
People expect us to be like Dracula or something, and then we start making jokes and be sarcastic, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's not what I thought."
But we can also be like Dracula if you need us to be.
Yeah, we can do both.